full Stingray in here and lay out all the bits. It's the fly sheet, tent, and 1, 2, 3 ratchets and strap, and pull out the poles as well with that. Got a loop end and a tail end. We're going to take the loop end and go around the tree with it, trying to keep the strap from twisting as you come around the tree, and then feed the tail through the loop all the way through, and then you can pull it tight to face the tent. And the tail goes through the D-ring. And then the ratchet goes through the tail. So allow that to pass through the D-ring. We're going to take the tail and we're going to thread it through the ratchet. So we're going to go like that, and then over or under, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to pull out all the slack. And then we want to make sure that the ratchet is in fully closed position so that this bar sits behind the little nick, and that is fully locked. And once you're in your tent, you can then transfer the poles out of the pole pocket into the 2 plastic sockets that are either side of the strap line. That way everything is completely secured and you won't get any movement out of that. Take the loop and the toggle and you pass them under the tent, and then the loop will go through the toggle. And then the very corner goes through the D-ring to create a weather seal. You want to make sure that it's covering all of the inner tent. Then you can bring that round, and it's either hooks straight onto the hook and toggle, or you've got a bungee, depending on which batch fly sheet you've got, and that bungee can just extend back out and clip to the D-ring. If you've got the pegs and bungee, then you can peg out your fly sheet very easily by touching that peg like that, and then making another loop in the bungee there, like that, which will fit onto your fly sheet hooks, and then peg out the wings of your fly sheet, screw them into the ground to give you 160 square feet of covered area under the tent. Underneath the Stingray you can attach 3 hammocks, if you like, so that the whole system will then be able to sleep 6, and you just attach them simply to the D-rings at the corners. And, for those of you who've got walls, we can add them to the sides of the Stingray. So you can take the wall, put it under our Stingray wing. The top corners of the fly sheets, you've got a loop and a small bit of bungee on a hook, and that's what you want. The bottom parts of the wall have a loop and a long tail for which to peg to the ground. Now you're going to take your hook and you're just going to attach it to there, and this will overlap, your fly sheet will overlap your wall, and you're all set. When it's time to take the fly sheet off, you can just attach the old fly sheet to itself around the D-ring, using that point as an anchor point, and then pull the whole fly sheet off, gathering the front 2 corners. There's one corner, There's the Tentsile logo. There's the other corner there. So if you've got the two front corners, you make sure that the wings on the inside bring the two front corners together. And then you want to find the logo at the front and just pull a ridge just above it, like that. And then you can just wind and fold up the whole length of the fly sheet, zigzagging it from one side to the other until you've got a nice pleat. Unhook it at the tail and lay it on the ground. Get all the air out and then fold this end that's not so neat until you see the start of the words here. Squeeze out the rest of the air. This can come this way. Just make sure it's dry when you're packing it. And roll while squeezing. And there you go. Because there's quite a lot of spring in the tent, that you'll get a lot of kickback when you pull the locking mechanism and you go to release your ratchet. So a little trick is to take the tail of your ratchet and thread it, ratchet strap, and thread it through the locking mechanism. Then you can pull it open, and from way back here you can swing it round and your fingers are out of harm's way. To store your ratchet straps, you can just spend the time winding it, make them nice and perfect.